One of the neighbors is having a dispute with another neighbor, which happens to be one of my neighbors. The suspected individual lives in front of my 70 acres. And there's explosions going off at night.
A $1,000 cash reward out of our own pockets for any information. For as long as we've been on this great big blue planet, foolish people have done foolish things. Here in the county we now live in, Levy County, if you look at the history of Rosewood, Florida, a bunch of foolish people did a whole bunch of horrific, horrible things. And even though many, many years now have passed, still bad things are happening to very good people.
Back in the 1920s, a white woman accused a black male for assaulting her, which led to this huge massacre, the Rosewood Massacre.
In my personal opinion, almost 100 years later, not much has changed in this area of Florida. Bad things are still being said and done to good people, and people are being ostracized for being different. We're all different. That's what makes us all so beautiful and unique.
We're going to show you footage of what has happened since we've been here in Florida. And it's important that we point out that everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
With that being said, we here at What the Hales are offering a $1,000 cash reward out of our own pockets for any information that leads to the conviction of the individual who did this crime. One of the very first things that we did when we got here to the town of Otter Creek, we attended the town hall meeting. And oh my goodness, George and I both left thinking, what the Hales did we just witness? It was one of the most dysfunctional meetings we have either seen in our lives.
Y'all approved for the minutes last month.
They're somewhat accurate, and they're biased, but they're somewhat accurate.
He said they're biased and somewhat accurate.
I make a motion we approve the minutes.
We learned really quick that apparently the old mayor, this guy, had a pretty big beef with one of the council members, this guy.
They're somewhat accurate.
1 month later, we went to another town hall meeting, and this time I had to record. I had to see what was going to happen this time. By the way, it's public record.
So all my accounts will be done under my member number. So because it's a credit union, it's not like you can't just go in and open up 5 different accounts. They all go under the same member number. So yes, I do have multiple accounts under my member number, yes.
But that ain't what the state says you got to do. You open a specific campaign account.
Correct.
They print you checks with campaign account on them. I went to Suncoast and tried to open a campaign account, and they do not do campaign accounts.
That's what they told me also.
So then what happened? Did he come in and pay the $12 in cash?
He brought a $12 cashier's check, supposedly drawn from that account, which if there was $12 in it would have...
There are a lot of laws that nobody knows are even on the books. There are a lot of laws that all of us don't even obey. Speed limit, for instance. If $12 is the issue for a candidate to run for mayor in this town, if $12 is the issue, town of Otter Creek, I'll pay it. You know what? I'll pay $24. How about we get together and actually do some good instead of trying to tear each other apart? There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. We have the perfect piece of property here in Otter Creek, Florida. But even the perfect piece of property can be spoiled by the imperfect neighbors. And boy, do I have a doozy of them. I'm headed over to confront them now. They've got stuff all over my property. There have been bombs going off in the middle of the night. Let's go talk to them.
This is not a public road. This is private property. Get the truck off my property now. I'm gonna back up. I want the truck off my property.
Okay.
All right? Don't come on my property again. I don't want you on my property, and I don't want you blocking this public road either. Do you understand?
Okay.
You want to tell me what you're doing on my property?
Yeah, I park there all the time.
Don't ever park there again. Why are you parking there?
I needed to get to the backyard
For
for some tools and things like that.
whose yard is it?
Susie?
You don't go through my property to get to Susie's backyard.
I understand.
All right? I don't ever want to see you there again. If I see you there again, I'm going to tow your truck out. All right? Do not block this road. So here's what's really happening. Drugs are happening here on my road. That's what's really happening. And they're using the access road that the tower company has leased to access the drugs. Here's just a glance of my property. This road being, this road being leased by the cell tower company. You can see the garbage just everywhere. Everywhere. This is just absolutely insane. This is beyond hoarding. This is my property. This is my property. This is my property. This is insane.
No.
If I find any more vehicles parked on here, this is not her driveway. This is not her access at all. She doesn't rent this. She doesn't lease this.
No, this is the
this
road
is
to
my
the tower.
property. This is my
This is
property.
Tower Road. It's
This
public.
is my property.
Okay.
The tower leases it from me.
Okay.
Anything on this road is going to be hauled off. I want the garbage off immediately. I want the garbage off of my property immediately.
Honey, I just
You're
came
going to
here. I
relay
don't
the
know.
message.
Yes.
You're going to
I
relay
must-
the
yeah.
message. I want the garbage off of my property immediately. A survey team is coming through. A fence is going up. I don't want any more vehicles parked here. If this road is blocked, I'm going to tow everything.
My mom-
I want this moved immediately so that the tower
This is
has
on her-
access.
this is
This
on
is
her
not on her property. This is not her property. This is my
line
property.
Right here is her property.
Ma'am.
Have you had this surveyed yet?
It will. The survey team is
Well,
coming
when the
through.
survey comes, then I think you should
This,
talk to her.
I want it out of my
When-
property.
Well, when the survey
So
comes,
I want to be very clear.
Look, I'm going to get her son over here. That's what I
I'm
need
going
to do.
there next.
Well, he's at work, but I will call him
I'm
right
going.
now.
I'm going to him next. So I want to be very clear. I want nothing on my property. There are fences going up around the property.
Okay, but you don't even know the property line either.
I do know
until
the
you
property. I
survey.
didn't buy a piece of property without knowing the property lines.
Okay, then maybe.
Then the fences are going up.
Well, you can't
I don't
force
want
her to move
anything.
until she knows.
I absolutely can. It's on my property.
How do you know
I don't
that?
want anything on my property
Look, I'm not gonna argue. I'm just
whatsoever.
gonna call Michael.
One more thing. There will be cameras all over
There's
my
cameras
property.
already here.
There's going to be cameras all over my property.
just call Michael.
I don't want any trespassing on my property.
Let me just call Michael.
I've
because
got
I'm
some
not- I
fencing.
can't-
I've got some
I
chain link
just
fence
leave- I
because
can't
I'd
I'll
like
take
to
care of it
block
all.
off.
You hear
You're
me?
not the property owner. I understand.
yes.
You're
Oh my
relaying it
God,
to
let
her.
me just let me
This is
call her son.
unacceptable. I'm not going to put up with it. This is a mess. My property isn't her public dump. Okay? I will talk to Michael later. And you clarify, if there's another vehicle here, it's being towed at her expense. If there's a vehicle here in the road blocking
Michael?
when I try and get through, I'm
Hey,
towing
there's
it.
a guy here named Jeremy who bought property.
I'll talk to him tomorrow.
He's buying
he's
Lois's
telling me I got to
property,
get
too.
this everything. I
Yeah.
got to move this wood.
Well, I
pile,
look forward to
everything. I guess
this
it's on
because
his
I was going to
property.
have it
It's
surveyed. I just got here last
I'll
night.
take care of it.
Okay, and I do have
I
some
don't know,
chain
he's
link
like
fence.
fucking-
so
Your
it can go
fella
across.
who's been working on it, I mean, this road, every day I go down this road, this
Hey,
road is
I
blocked.
did not even know that guy was in my house.
You didn't know that guy was in your
Here,
house?
I'm gonna let you ask him. What he said? What is the property line?
I'm
He can
getting
talk
ready
to me
fix
later.
that. I'm getting ready to
So
fix
this
that.
guy was squatting in your house, working
He's
on
not
it?
really squatting. This was kind of an agreement between him and
He said
Susie.
you
Do
wanted
some
to
work
talk
for
to him
her,
yesterday, but you drove
and
off,
she
sir.
said he is staying in my house. I've got to get it
So
all
he's
straightened
been
out.
he's been pulling electric lines from Susie's house over here blocking the road. Now, he's been on a generator the past couple nights. My
Because
equipment,
Susie cut his electric off.
Yeah,
Her
we
electric.
pulled the electric.
They pulled
'Cause
that
he
from
didn't pay
him
no money.
because now they've gotten into an argument between the two of them, and I'm sitting in the middle of it. And I just got here. That's why I came down here.
because of the argument.
Yeah, and I find out that that house is packed full of junk. They've got a wood burner hanging out the window. It'll be straightened up
All right.
on my end. It
Okay.
will definitely be straightened up. I'm all for you.
All right, I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
The goal is to clean the whole road up, clean the town up, clean the road up.
God.
So get on board with me. Let's clean it up because this is unacceptable. This is not a way to live.
I am on board.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you. One of the neighbors is having a dispute with another neighbor, which happens to be one of my neighbors. Police are here. Somebody went on his property and started a fire. And they don't know we're coming yet. And this is an individual I'm definitely going to have a problem with.
Okay.
Holy cow.
Okay. So,
We're trying to see who you were. Sorry.
My name is Jeremy Hales, Hales.
So you guys are just here to see if everything's okay? Is that?
oh, you friends? Okay.
Zim called Brett, Brett called me. Holy cow.
He just bought some property in the area. Okay.
And the suspected individual lives in front of my 70 acres. And the suspected individual lives in front of my 70 acres. And there's explosions going off at night, and
We think it's all related.
holy cow. So police are here. This is a massive, massive fire. So power lines up above. This is crazy. So police cars here.
No, yeah.
You hear, you got Michael Montana?
Michael Smith. S-M-E-10. He has a record of being a big bully.
He's the one that was with the mayor doing their bullying and threatening and everything.
Okay.
They're the ones teaming up together to
So
do
you got
all-
your driver's license on you? I'm just gonna document everything.
I cannot believe somebody would have done this.
He moved away, got married, wife kicked him out, he came back, and this is gonna go on and on until he gets arrested. Until he gets caught.
I don't think I've never met Mr. Meeks before, or
His son is Rock Meeks, and John Meeks is
So-
his cousin.
So these are all neighbors of our 70 acres. So the same individual suspected who's setting off bombs.
Yeah, and that's exactly what could have been that red barn right there.
You know, we were listening for the explosion tonight. So since I've been here in Florida, the explosions happen at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. on the clock.
Are you the guys from across the street?
And there was no explosion at 8 p.m. I have a feeling I know why now. Holy cow.
I'll be won't do it at 10 o'clock either because I figure y'all will be around. And then set these explosions off. I personally think they've been doing this explosives.
I heard it like a week ago.
They've been doing this explosives. Yeah.
The
I think they've been doing it intimidating. I
I
think
think it's them folks over there, it's that trailer.
it is.
Yes,
That's
the
that
three
Michael
set,
Spin-
the
that's
three
that Michael
set there.
Spantana.
You got the folks and then the trailer in the middle and then his mama was on the other side of him.
Yes.
That's the Michael.
That's it. Okay, all right. I never
Did they
met
say
him.
something about explosion with a pipeline or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
they.
that was actually happening down
Oh,
in
from the
Gulf Hammock.
Oh, okay.
And that was just some test things they did, and that was just a little short
Usually
period.
when these explosions happen, and it may not happen tonight, and if it does not, that would be a telltale sign of who it is. Because every Friday or Saturday evening around this time up until about midnight, you'll hear some big booms that shake windows.
I was sitting up there at Herschel about a week or two
But if
ago,
you don't
and
hear
it
it
shook my
tonight,
windows.
this took its
Yeah,
place.
it was pretty big.
You heard it.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I went over to the guy's house to try to make contact with him, but nobody came out.
Well,
I made contact with some of the other
Where's he
neighbors
live
there.
He sat in the town hall meeting one time and he goes, well, you gotta catch him first. That's what told me too.
He at the meeting said that the deputy come to his house and talked to him and told him that I called in on him. Said Zim Patch, I said, well,
I never made contact with anybody.
First off, you don't go to someone's on a complaint and go over and say, well, Mr. Patch ever called in. I know that. You know, that was just a...
Your neighbor over there, that guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why people do it that way, so we don't try to avoid collisions with them.
Yeah, we always say, you know, an anonymous person called in, whatever. We've had calls, whatever.
I knew better when he said it. At first, it kind of like, what? Really? No, then, no, that ain't the way it's done.
No. Yeah, we're smarter than
This
that.
ain't Ohio anymore. When I call in the complaint, gentlemen, you make sure you tell them who it is, and I'll give you the video footage of them doing it. And frankly, I'll probably haul them into you.
That meeting certainly was.
That town hall meeting was something else.
Oh, it was.
Wow.
It's never been that bad.
Well, he's fixing the sheriff property line right behind my cell tower over there.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be asking me, you know,
What's the other guy's name?
Michael Smith Tanner. S-M-E Tanner. And he drives a red Dodge.
Spell it again for me.
S-M-E-T-A-N-A. Smith Tanner.
Okay.
And Susie Smith Tanner is his mom.
Well, her last name's not.
How old is he?
Oh, that's not okay.
How old is he?
I would guess probably late 30s.
Yeah, 37, 38.
Yeah. Kind of heavy set, bearded, looked like a linebacker kind of dude. He talks like he's a bully, but
He's a true.
he's really.
So what's the whole deal there? Like,
really a coward.
he's upset because he's getting voted off the council, or what?
No, I don't even know why.
Hell, he bought the other council member off and got his spot back.
So what's he upset for?
Because everyone's standing up against him.
Really? He
Yes,
can't do what he usually.
Right. We kept calling him out.
called him
Like
out.
on what stuff? Like on what kind of thing?
Using town resources for political purposes, and then he's just spent the last 8 months trying to use the town resources trying to find some kind of criminal thing on me, trying to do something on everything I've done.
I'm going to interject for just a minute. We are going to have the fire department come out for multiple factors. One, power lines. Yeah, and secondly, they can kind of give us a little bit more insight on.
Already got approval for power.
Yeah, we just have to make sure. You know what I mean? So because the power lines are there, it's no big deal. We're just going to come out and also because we know nothing about fire, obviously, and I'm going to see their professional opinion if they believe accelerant was used, even if they can advise of that. Okay, so if they can advise, great. If they can't, okay. I did take pictures of it. You're writing the report, correct? Okay, so he's writing the report. We'll attach those photographs of it to that report, and also fire will just make sure everything's okay, because God forbid something happened, and also maybe they can help us advise what accelerant was used, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna have to get out of the way. And the real question is, can they catch the person that set the fire here tonight?
We're back at the property where the fire was. The owner of the property has his bulldozer out trying to bring down the fire. Still see it smoking.
A razor, but it's some kind of a. But he fire doing this.
Was it Michael?
Michael, yeah.
Michael just did that.
Michael just did it here about 5 minutes ago. Fix it and put the gun back on.
Was he driving an ATV?
Yes.
Yep, that was
So
him
that
back
was him
there.
down over
Yeah.
on the-
We just drove past the property and saw it.
We
all.
went last night to try and find his truck. It wasn't there last night. It's back there this morning.
It's there this
I'm
morning.
gonna have cameras on him, and frankly, if I have to, I'm gonna put people on him.
It's a shame you can't feel comfortable going out of your yard now.
This is Michael right here. This is him. He's right there. There he is. And we're gonna take care of the problem.